What's going on, beautiful people? It is I, your flying locomotive and faster than a speeding bolt SuperCliff, coming at you live with a brand new video. So for today's video, I want to talk about the recent movie news regarding The Lord of the Rings, specifically that being The Hunt for Gollum. However, before we suit up and dive into the landscape of the filmmaking process of Middle-earth, if you are new to the channel, then smash that like and subscribe button. That way you guys never miss out on anything that happens on this majestic channel. So what are you waiting for? Let's raise the bar and go full on Super Saiyan. Hit that subscribe button. Thus, without further ado, let's get philosophical. Now, for the sake of my emotions, I need to properly set this up. So let's start from the beginning of time. The Third Age, aka August 2002, a couple weeks before the start of the new school year. I was entering 6th grade. Now, around this time, the trailers for The Two Towers were coming out. However, I never saw The Fellowship of the Ring. The only thing I knew about the movie was that there was an old guy, a dude with a bow and arrow, a young boy who gets kissed on the head by a pretty woman, and yeah, that was pretty much it. That's about how much I knew when it came to The Lord of the Rings. And forgive me for saying this, but for some reason I thought it looked dumb. This looks stupid, blah blah blah. Typical teenage mannerisms. Now, my best friend at the time, we were riding bikes outside, and I don't know how this came up, but he was like, dude, I really think you're going to like these movies, and I strongly suggest that you watch The Fellowship of the Ring. Now, I'm pretty sure I ended the conversation by calling him a liar, but somehow, some way, he managed to convince me. So the following week, my dad rents me from Blockbuster The Fellowship of the Ring on VHS. I'm a 90s kid. What do you want from me? Anyways, I ended up watching it on an early Sunday morning around 11ish, and again, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what the plot was or anything. 5 minutes into the movie, after seeing the prologue, the explanation about Sauron, the One Ring, the last alliance between men and elves, it blew my fucking mind. I was into this. I was invested. I became a fan times 3,000. From that point on, I can honestly say that The Lord of the Rings changed my life, and in my opinion, the original PeterJackson trilogy are the 3 best films to ever exist. It got me to read The Hobbit, it got me to read books and fantasy, it taught me not to judge a book by its cover. Except when it comes to Madam Web, because that movie looked, and hey, it turned out to be fucking terrible. Now fast forward to the now of life. The movie world, the way movies are made, is vastly different. Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav said during an earnings call last Thursday that Warner Brothers will release the first of its new batch of live-action Lord of the Rings films in 2026. The first movie being The Hunt for Gollum, which will focus on AndySerkis' Gollum. In addition, original The Lord of the Rings trilogy filmmaker PeterJackson and his partners Fran Walsh and Phil Biano are producing the movie and will be involved every step of the way. AndySerkis will not only return as Gollum, but he'll also be directing. Also, Weta, a special effect and prop studio based in New Zealand, will be affiliated. They're the people behind the amazing bigotries used for the original trilogy, like, the Tower of Barad-dûr, Helm's Deep, Isengard, and the film will be shot in New Zealand, which the original trilogy was filmed. Now, here's the thing. The Lord of the Rings movies are not only appealing to fantasy fans, but they appeal to everyone. The original trilogy is a masterpiece, and that's not just me as a fan saying it. These movies are classics. To borrow a term from Martin Scorsese, they are the definition of cinema. Also, the movies still hold up. From acting, the costumes, to filming, CGI, they still look fantastic. Arguably better looking than 95% of new movies being released today. And similar to the original Star Wars trilogy, because of their quality, the impact that they still have to this day, people from all generations, older and younger, are still drawn to these movies. And not only that, but in a world today where a lot of new movies don't come across as authentic, nor do they seem to be made with passion, The Lord of the Rings, you can definitely tell that they were made with love and passion. Those movies wanted to do justice for J.R.R. Tolkien's world. Therefore, on paper, The Hunt for Gollum, with all that said, it should be a wet dream for fans. It should be a wet dream for anyone who's a fan of the movies and the world of Tolkien, right? Well, my answer as a fan, someone who loves The Lord of the Rings, someone who loves the movies, is this: I don't know. As much as I love PeterJackson and AndySerkis' portrayal of Gollum and the effect the trilogy had on me, I have to be honest and say that I don't think this movie needs to happen. Just in the terms of judging the movie's title, The Hunt for Gollum will ideally focus on a time period following Bilbo's birthday, Gandalf having suspicions for Bilbo's magic ring, believing it might actually be the One Ring. Both Gandalf and Aragorn set out to hunt for Gollum. in order to extract information and to find out whether or not anyone else knows, specifically agents of Mordor. And of course, if you've read the books and if you watch the movies, we know Gollum gets captured by Mordor and is tortured. We know that Mordor learns about Bilbo Baggins being in the possession of the One Ring. We know that Baggins is involved. And where do Baggins live? Hobbiton. So here's the thing. Despite the stories being based off the Lord of the Rings appendices, the Tolkien's short stories of Middle-earth, the world of Middle-earth, the portrayal of Gollum, and the one-line dialogue telling Frodo and us, the audience, that he looked everywhere for the creature Gollum.
There is one other who knew that Bilbo had the ring. I looked everywhere for the creature Gollum, but the enemy found him first.
The question is asked, does this movie need to happen? Does it need to be made? I say no. However, a movie studio doesn't care about quality or whether a story should, need telling. A studio, looks at The Lord of the Rings and they see butts and seats, aka they see dollar signs. The Hunt for Gollum comes off as a money grab. From a creative, and passionate view, it's exciting because I love The Lord of the Rings and I love the people involved, but it's definitely troubling. And all I can really hope for is that PeterJackson and his crew have a plan and that they have a reason to tell the story. I just hope that moving forward, the Lord of the Rings film series doesn't get tarnished or overused like oil in the Middle East, because I feel like we're all going to feel like Treebeard, like when we find out that Saruman is using Fangorn Force to produce weapons of war. It's like, the fuck. So yeah, as always, I'm your majestic sayer over at SuperCliff, and if you guys are new to the channel, then do me a solid by smashing that like and subscribe button, and also hit that notification bell so that you'll never miss out on an upload, and so that you'll always be kept up to date with your favorite top tier fantasy books, news, and movies, and this fantastic creative world. Now tell me, what are your thoughts and opinions on The Hunt for Gollum? Are you guys excited for more Lord of the Rings content? More Lord of the Rings movies? Do you think this movie should even be made? Were the Hobbit movies kind of like a foreshadowing warning that maybe we shouldn't just add bullshit into Lord of the Rings movies? I don't know. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section below. And until the next video, peace. Giggity goo.